Hello, long time no ocean. And for some reason I started this vlog in English, so let's keep it that way. I'm melting. It's about 7:30 in the evening and finally it's bearable to walk outside, because earlier today we had 29 degrees outside, and if the weather forecast is correct, we'll be having these kind of temperatures during daytime for the next 2 weeks. About 20-ish during nighttime and 27 to 29 to 30 during daytime. And I have a thermostat of a penguin. So I'm melting! Last winter was okay because we had weeks on end something like 20 to 25 degrees below temperatures. And that's fine for me, because if you're freezing, it doesn't mean that it's too cold outside. It only means that you're not wearing enough. But during summertime, there's basically nothing you can do if you have to walk outside. If you're indoors, close the curtains and take all your gear that's suitable for cooling down the room air and just blast them. But me not enjoying. But the fun part is that almost exactly a year ago I bought a scooter. I have a video on this channel about my gear while riding. And during those cold winter months, or winter weeks, winter months, no problem. Nope, not a single, well, one problem, but worked as intended. And that's the reason why I wanted a 2-stroke engine. Because 4-stroke engine and 25 degrees below temperatures, not a good combo. But 2-stroke engine is robust and basically it's the simplest form of a combustion engine you can build, and that's why I wanted it. Because you can take it right from here. Today we had 29 degrees above. Last winter we had, I think the coldest day that I can remember was 29 degrees below. Sorry, 28, 27 below. So it's about 60 degrees temperature difference throughout the year, or between winter and summer. And 4-stroke engines, I don't trust them with those kind of temperature differences. But it's still working as intended. I only had one electronic problem early winter when it froze during nighttime, and it was above 0 temperatures during daytime, so it was freezing, melting, and there was a crack in one of the wires, or insulation of one of the wires was cracked. So water got in and caused a malfunction. That was the only thing, or that has been the only problem to this day. So I think the cheap Chinese scooters are a pretty good deal if you take care of them. And I've been taking good care of mine. And I haven't been streaming for a while, not because I don't want to, but one, it's cold, it's hot as hell, and I'm in a corner with two tower PCs. That's one thing. And another thing is that I've been making music. Again, last Christmas I bought a Zoom H1 handy recorder, and about a month ago I managed to get myself a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, a USB interface. And my old interface, which is Mackie Satellite, it still works fine, but the problem is that it's Firewire. And as far as I know, that connection type is pretty much dead. So it's USB or Thunderbolt these days, I think. And none of my functioning computers doesn't have a Firewire. Well, I have one laptop that's working with a Firewire connection, but that laptop is pretty old and it's not able to handle the things I need to do. So I needed a new one, and that Focusrite was, well, it was good for me. There's one mic preamp and one line input. And since I'm not recording live drums or anything like that, I don't need more than 2 inputs at the same time. And now when I have a more powerful PC to work with, I've been working with laptops previously, I can finally dive into the wonderful world of amp sims and cab emulators or cab impulses, which is also a nice thing because cranking a 100 watt guitar amp is not okay. Although I would like to have that sound of a mic'd actual amp, real speakers moving real air into a real mic, but that's not possible currently since I don't have a rehearsal room or anything like that. I'm working at home, and that's nice. And those things have come a long way since the last time I tried any kind of a amp emulator or anything. It was pretty bad back in the day. Those sounds were pretty bad back in the day. But now you have a lot of options if you want to work with amp sims. But the problem is that you can always change the tone, and that's a good thing and that's a bad thing, because you have to pick your sound and go with it. That's kind of my philosophy. You have to commit to a sound, but with these amp sims you can change, you can tweak endlessly, and it was kind of hard to get into the flow with things what comes to that you can change anything at any time. And that was kind of a problem earlier, but now I managed to get my workflow in order, and it's been coming out pretty well. I have a movie soundtrack that I'm working on, and then I have one full-length album that I'm also working on. Sadly I don't have a drummer, but I found a free drum program that's pretty similar to something like Superior Drummer or something like that, called MP Power Drum, I think it was called. It's a donationware, but it sounds good for the purposes that I need them. You'll have kind of a pre-made drum sequences and everything like that, so it's very fast to start with that. Just take some grooves, put those into a MIDI grid, and then go with those. But since I'm programming all the drums hit by hit, beat by beat, it's taking a while. And also because I don't want drums to go just do ta do ta. It's kind of time consuming, especially that when I don't know how to play drums. I only hear the beats in my head, but I don't have that kind of a, okay, now hit this, now hit that, so it's trial and error for the most part. But it's sounding pretty good so far. But the problem I have with the making of the album is that the lyrics are a bitch to work with. When I was younger, it was easier to write lyrics because you were writing about your own life through metaphors and such. But now it's extremely hard because I don't want to sound like, well, in Finland we have an artist called Juha Tapio and Arttu Viskari, and those guys are making this kind of a early middle-aged man's music, and I don't want to do that. So it's like almost like country music, but with the Finnish melodies and arrangements. But if you take the lyrics, it's about country. It's country music basically. I got fired, and at least I have my woman beside me. Oh, she left too. God damn it! So, and I don't want to write anything like that. But since I'm almost in my 40s, there's really not all that much to write about if I want to write about myself. So I've been trying to work out that thing, because there has to be a way to write without it sounding corny. Obviously, that's always a possibility. Just go for the middle-aged ladies and write with that audience in mind, but that's not what I want to do. I was going to take a bit longer walk today, but I think that I'm going home. It's still hot as... At least for me, obviously there are people who are, finally summer. I'm like a witch from Wizard of Oz. So I think this rambling is wrapped. So see ya.